Hello ladies, it's Sarah Beth here at Southern Belle Reviews, and I have been meaning to make this video all month long. It is now March 21st, so basically the end of March. The first day of spring has come and gone. I've been meaning to get to gardening, and there's just been stuff going on and I just haven't been able to get to it. So our palette of the month is the NYX Professional Makeup Ultimate Shadow Palette in Brights. And before we get into a get ready with me and this palette and all of the colorfulness that it is, let me update you for February, which was our number 2 palette of the month project, consisting of blushes, and that was my 50 Shades of Pink project for Valentine's Day month, and it was entitled Be My Valentine. I had a highlighter and 4 blushes to work on for blush month, as I called it. So let me give you my progress for those, and then we'll get to our next palette for March, which is number 3. Okay, so here's the tea. So my Ciate London single shadow, I used it for a single shadow for last month's 50 Shades of Pink project because it was just really complimentary. I ended up losing it somehow, and it fell under the bed apparently because when I found it, it was completely shattered. So I could fix this if I really wanted to, or I could just declutter this. Now, I did get 7 uses out of it for February. Before that, I got like 12 uses, according to my book. I got 12 uses in January and 7 uses in February. So I was really using this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be honest with you guys, what I'm going to do is just let it go. But that was part of last month's 50 Shades of Pink project. And also part of blush month, I used the Kimchi Chic Beauty Thaler blush in Pinky or Rosé. And this is it. I still have it. And I want to make a point of that because the other 2 blushes that are in this panning project, I decluttered and sold almost immediately. And the other blushes that I had in this panning project for the 50 Shades of Pink panning project were, so I had a Milani Cosmetics Rose Powder Blush in 05 Coral Cove. I still have it, but it is in my empties basket or decluttered basket because it is expired. It's like really thick. It's like clumped up. I cannot get it to work. I know that it's expired. I've had it since like 2015. I used it 7 times, and then I decided that it was far too compacted, and I decided to declutter it. So the Milani Cosmetics Rose Powder Blush in Coral Cove has officially been decluttered. Bye. You guys will see it in my next empties video. And the Kimchi Chic Beauty Thaler blush is the only one I still have out of the blushes for blush month. I got 4 uses out of it. Yeah, so I decided to keep this. And it's beautiful. I love the packaging. I'm not a big fan of kimchi, but the blush is pretty nice. So I will continue to work on it. However, the 2 blushes that I sold are the ColourPop Baby Cakes. I think it's pressed powder blush in Baby Cakes. I got 5 uses out of it, and then I decluttered it, and I grouped it together in a bundle with the ColourPop pressed powder blush in Love Me Not, which I got 5 uses out of and then decluttered. So those 2 sold as a bundle. So the Milani Cosmetics Powder Blush in Coral Cove is decluttered. It's in my empties basket. The Ciate Moondust, it's like a powder highlighter, which is this. It's been decluttered because it's shattered, and I really don't care about fixing it. It's already made a mess on my desk. And then the 2 ColourPop Heart blushes are gone. They're sold. The only one that I kept is the Kimchi Chic Beauty. I will put that back in my drawer. And then we can move on to March. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for 5 minutes to just give you updates on last month's panning project updates, which again was the 50 Shades of Pink project. The theme was Be My Valentine. And that's the updates on that. That's quite a lot of updates. So let's move on to March, which is number 3, the 50 Shades of the Rainbow Project, or Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I do plan on doing an a cappella cover of that. It's a song by Judy Garland, written for The Wizard of Oz. I love that song. I remember singing it in the Share the Fun competition for 4-H. So I have so far used this 6 times, including today, before I took it off. So this has been my makeup today. My makeup has been so minimal. You can see like my freckles and my fine lines and stuff. I've just used a little bit of moisturizer and a little bit of concealer. And that's it, aside from mascara and lipstick. I did use it for my palette of the month in December of 2023, and I used it, my goal was 5 uses, and I used it 8 times, so that's pretty good. But I wanted to bring out this palette in honor of Irish History Month, aka St. Patrick's Day for March. So we have a Black History Month, but there's no real like Irish History Month, and I'm very Irish and very proud of that heritage. Or Scots-Irish, if you will. So buy Irish. I'm all about like buying Irish brands. The Irish were treated just as bad, if not worse, than the Blacks, and still are. I've seen some racist posts on the Irish recently. So I'm not racist towards anyone, but I am proud of my particular heritage of being Scots-Irish and the discrimination that we face. Anyone who's seen Braveheart will understand what I mean. That was a very intense role for Mel Gibson. So this is in honor of Scots-Irish History Month for March 2024. And let's do some swatches with this palette. So here's my sticky note from last year, December. Let's get rid of that, throw it in the floor. Beautiful colors. I remember my favorites being the teals and I believe the purples. So these 2 teals were my favorites, and these 2 purples and this purple were my favorites and still are. But you know what? I've used these greens this month. Like, I did a look for St. Patrick's Day that was green, and I just used this one. I like to use like the 2 shades together. So like the 2 shades that are beside each other, I'll use together in looks, but you can mix and match however you want. First up, let's do some swatches. So first of all, we have a red, which hopefully won't stain my fingers like the ColourPop Lust and Love palette did. Go ahead and swatch it right, y'all. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, there's a nice intense red. I want to say, like, it's got some shimmer to it, but you can't really see it in the swatch. Then we have a hot pink. And that's just one swatch. Like, I swatched the red twice. Let's do the hot pink twice as well, so you can see a nice, intense, opaque color there. A nice swatch of it. All right, hot pink. So I have some hot pink fingers here. So for the next one, I'm going to use a different finger. I may need a makeup remover wipe for this. Okay, this looks like a coral to me, but it probably looks like a bright orange to you. But in the pan, it's more of like a coral, but maybe you can see it there. All right, I might have to double up on the swatches. This one's got a little bit of fallout. Okay, so here's the red, hot pink, and then those 2 oranges in the top row. Let's move on to the purples. And I guess 1 pink here. It won't hurt to use that stained red finger in this dark purple because you're not going to be able to tell. So here it is. And I have been swatching them twice. This one has a lot of fallout on it. It's a very thick, pigmented, powdery purple. And I keep having to blow the excess out. Let's also try the lighter purple that's beside it. And you can kind of see they're still on my fingers. I know that they're stained underneath because of the reds. I don't know what the ingredients are in these palettes, these NYX palettes, but they do have some nice intense colors. But these are all really dark shades for me. Like, I'm not really into these anymore. I've really been getting into nude shades, just light browns, very light and more complementary of my particular skin tone and my particular taste. So The only shades that I really use in this palette are the lightest ones, like that lavender shade, this teal, and this light green. And I really just don't use this palette very much. But here's the light pink that's in it. Again, stained finger. I should probably get a makeup wipe. But here's that lightish, dusty pink. And it's very pretty. Like, I would use this. Okay, so here's the light purple that I do reach for sometimes. That's this one. So I really did want to do a rainbow look with this, but let's go on to the blues. We've got the blues. These blues are gorgeous. I love that there are so many colors to reach for. This palette is very versatile. You can come up with any look you want, and the pans are equal. If you are a true artist, you can just do whatever you want, but I really do like how the similar colors are beside each other, because that's what I usually go for, is the dark green and the light green, or the dark teal and the light teal, you know, or that light purple. So this next one is beautiful. I have barely reached for this, but this is this gorgeous periwinkle blue that reminds me of Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, and I have that palette from Makeup Revolution that I absolutely love. So let's swatch this. That is a nice, perfect swatch. Perfect. Beautiful. And then we have a deep, like, primary blue. It's just a regular primary blue. I used this for 4th of July. One year I did red on one eyelid, this blue on the other eyelid, and I did white stars, and it was beautiful. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was last July, so that was a long time ago. But this blue is very nice. Reminds me of the 4th of July. I got an indent on my arm. There it is. So some very intense, very highly pigmented colors, but also very powdery. Okay, so here's that dark teal that I like, but it goes really well with the lighter teal. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch the lighter teal, which is this one, beside this one, because I think that they complement each other. It looks really like a lot darker on my finger though, doesn't it? Like in the pan, it doesn't look as dark, but it looks darker on my finger. I don't know why that is. Probably just my perspective of seeing it against like my white girl fingers. But yeah, I use this color more than any other color in this palette. So that light blue at the very bottom, and then of course that lavender purple. Those are the shades I use. And then there they are on my hand. You can see all of the powder fallout on my fingers. It's so much. So let me wipe them off with a makeup wipe. And here's all this intense blue and this intense red on this makeup wipe. So these colors are pigmented. This was just from swatches. And maybe I swatched them too hard, but this was just swatches. But I'm gonna have to wipe all of this off too. Okay. So, last row, which is the greens and the yellows. Now, like I said, I really liked that lime green for St. Patrick's Day, and the dark green goes really well with it. I also think this dark green and this red go great for Christmas colors. I did use this palette for Christmas as well. This is definitely my holiday palette, like the blue and that red for 4th of July, and the red and this green for Christmas is really what I do, because these are like, that's a primary color red and a primary color blue. So, and this green is definitely a Christmas green. That is a Christmas green if I ever saw a Christmas green. So let's swatch it up here in my hand because I'm running out of room. This is pen. It looks dirty, but I swear I've had appointments all day. So writing on my hand is just easier, and I've always done it, and it's always going to be that way. So there's always going to be some sort of ink stain on my hand. But there's that Christmas green. That is Christmas right there. But these two I think look really good together as an Earth Day, or like green for St. Patrick's Day. It's a very holiday-esque palette. See, there you go. Those two together, and if you blend them out, they look so nice together. It's almost like a yellowish lime green, but I just think like they look nice together, kind of like the teals. And last but not least, we have a sunflower orange, and this is the swatch. Okay, you can see the powder, and how thick that is? Let's swatch it and I'll show you. It's intense. Do you see that excess there? I'll smooth it out. It is intense. That is bright, like orange yellow. Like a crayon that says yellow orange. And I'm a homeschool mom, so I know my crayons. Okay, and then here's the yellow. I'm gonna fix this swatch too. So you have a rainbow palette here, and I wish I could put everything in order, but I try to just divvy it up by what row they're in and keep it organized. You have every single color of the rainbow, and if you want, you can actually blend colors together. You can do whatever you want with rainbow palettes like this. There's just so many options. It's beautiful. This is probably a classic, like a staple in most makeup artists' collections, or anyone who loves colorful makeup. This is a staple palette. It's probably gotten a lot of use for everybody else but me, and I've really tried my best to use this, which is why I put it in the palette of the month. I may continue to keep this for now just because I know that I'm going to use it for Christmas. I know I'm going to use it for St. Patrick's Day. I know I'm going to use it for mermaid looks and, you know, what have you, and 4th of July. But at the same time, I'm kind of tired of it, but it is what it is. Those swatches are intense. And first of all, I should probably do a little bit more to my face. Probably need a little bit of foundation first. So I've got the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is the dewy version. It's in Rose Ivory. Let me show you what I do. I have a little applicator here. Of course, I always have excess on the top, so sometimes I take my sponge and just pat the top of the container. But I love my Hello Kitty Compact by the Cream Shop. So cute. I use it upside down because the upside down, like if I do this, the one with the face shape is the normal one, whereas the round one with this side is magnified, so I have to hold it upside down. Okay, so let's do this, and then I have a zit or whatever that is. Put it over here, a little bit over here, here, here. Try to even it out. Chin is probably too much already. I'm trying to just keep it light. I use up what's on my spatula, and that's how I do it. But this is Estate Cosmetics. I used it before, so after this, I'm washing it. I'm gonna throw it in my bag and wash it. Ooh, upside down, compact mirror. Okay, I'm gonna use the magnified side for now, just because. So, how has you guys' week been? What have you guys been doing? What are you up to? What's your latest business opportunity? What are you guys doing at work? What are you guys doing at home? What are you guys doing at your home life? And with your families. Are you ready for Easter? You know, Easter's right around the corner. My youngest son helped me pack Easter eggs today. We put jelly beans and like probably 50 eggs. So he's pretty much doing it for himself, but he also helped me pack Easter baskets every year for his siblings. And it's kind of hard for him, you know, because he doesn't get to see them. And it's rough because he always packs presents for them and stuff, and it takes a toll. But he always wants to help because he loves them so much, and he always talks about his brothers and sisters, but what can you do? I don't talk about it much, but I'm an alienated mom, and sometimes it does come up. So I think it's important to just make it a part of our normal society. Like, why can't we talk about it? Why is it so taboo? So yes, that is my life, and my little kid, and all of my kids have to deal with that in one way or another, and it's hard for them. But I am ready for Easter. We're gonna plan a little Easter egg hunt in our yard, as always. And I am the caretaker of an abandoned cemetery, so I think since it used to be part of a church, I think it would be very appropriate to use part of it that's connected to our property for part of our Easter egg hunt. I think that would be really nice. So let's see. This looks good, except for the zit right here. I keep putting concealer on it. All right, let's throw this in the dirties. To the dirties you go. And then put a little bit of Revlon Photo Ready Concealer on this. This is in 001 Fair. I used to be an idiot. I would call it Fair Claire because I didn't know what the daggone name of it was. It's in Fair Claire. They just have like the regular word for it and then a translation. Okay, that's good enough for me. Now, I don't put a lot of makeup under my eyes anymore because I have the fine lines, and every time I do that, it just shows off the lines even more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going basic, not as much makeup under the eyes anymore at all, so you can just see it for what it is, and then more brightening creams and stuff, and just very, very light, and just do over the eyes, and then it draws emphasis to the top instead of the bottom. So I think it looks okay right now. All right, so I used this brush for my purple today, so I think I'm gonna do purple again, but I also want to do a rainbow look because it's somewhere over the rainbow. So let's do the light one, which is the Dusty Rose. Right now, I'm winging it. Just like my eyeliner, I'm winging it. I know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing? Because I'm only gonna do this on one side. Okay. So, let me see here. Let's go for this bright orange on the other side of my brush, which is this one. And this brush is from the SL Miss Glam Rainbow Luxe collection. This is the Precise Eye 05. It gets used a lot. Now, I don't know if I can like really blend these colors together. And I don't actually, oh, I do have an orange, but I'm putting this a little bit over top of the pink. And there's a freckle there on my eye. Do you see it? I like that freckle. I like that that freckle shows through my makeup. I'm proud of that freckle. And then I'm going to use the yellow that you saw in the palette, which is right next to that orange, or this one. So let's bring this into my inner corner. All right. So we have our yellow. All right. That's pretty. See, I can do this. I can do this. So I'm going to reach for one of my eyeshadow 04 brushes from the Rainbow Luxe collection, SL Miss Glam, and you'll never believe what color I'm going to use next. I think we'll do the very light green, like lime green in this palette right here, and see what I can do. Okay, here it goes. You know, I probably should go in from the outside instead of the inside. So let's go back to our purple brush that's already got purple makeup on it. The Precise Eye 05 brush. And yes, I'm going to use the light lavender. I just want to stay in my lavender haze. I got a song for everything. That's Taylor Swift, Lavender Haze. And that was this one, which is a very light swatch. But I got this. I think that'll work. Oh yeah, you can see my under eyes are dark now. Hey, I'm 31, having fun. Not enough fun, actually, because life when you're 30 is like, oh shit, I gotta get my act together. There's bills to pay. So, do we have enough purple or do we need more? I feel like we need more, but we probably don't. Okay, so let's move on to a blue. I'm gonna put that brush over there in the dirties. It goes with the dirties. And I'm gonna go with the green brush, but I can use one side of it to pick a blue. And the blue I'm gonna use is gonna be none other than our teal that I love so much because it's the lightest one in the palette. So that would be this one. So we're just going with the lightest shades that I have available so that this look does not become too much too fast. I like pastels. They just complement me better. So let's see. You know, I think that might work. I might have to go over it again with the purple, but I don't think I do. I think it's actually fine. Okay, and let's go over it with that green again so you can see it better this time. And I already have mascara on, so I really don't need to do anything. I might do something under my eyes here, just a little. Okay. What I want to do is put something under my eyes that just brightens it up a little bit. I'm going to go back to our foundation again by Wet n Wild, put it on my sponge. So what I like to do is just go to the top of it and I just go like this and get that excess off. Because I'm a very clean person. That's honestly what I'm doing. And I'll just go to the tip here and get that, which is honestly too much. It's too much. I know it is, but I'm doing it anyways. So let's see what I can do here. I'm going to work my magic. Because after this, I think we're done with this look. I'm just trying to brighten it up under there. I need those little tiny makeup sponges. Yeah, so you can see it creasing under there. Too much. Too much makeup for me. Too much, too much. So let's take some of that off. There. Not so bad. Okay, so that cleared up a little bit because most of it was on this side and I did a little bit less on this side. Okay, so what do you ladies think? I've got the rainbow look going on. I tried to do it as pastel as possible and be as light as possible. So if you want colorful looks, this is your girl. This palette is probably a staple in a lot of used collections, or you can easily find it at walmart.com. So again, here's our swatches for the NYX Professional Makeup Ultimate Shadow Palette in brights. And they are bright. They are just that. That's my rainbow look. I'm gonna add some lipstick and call it a day, or call it a video. I've been working religiously on this lipstick. It is desperately in need of panning. Here it is. I am finished. This is the lipstick in Context Beauty Back for More, and it has the Serafina Delirium Cosmetics sticker on it. I was hoping that I could have my own brand, but it's a really expensive venture and it hasn't happened yet, but one day it will. But the makeup industry is so saturated, so that's why I'm here, reviewing and testing products. So you guys, just a reminder for you, I ain't old, I'm retro, and I hope that you enjoyed this video of my number 3 for March palette of the month, NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Brights, which is for Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and also Scots Irish History Month. I hope that you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you, hopefully, I will see you in my next video. Bye, mermaids!